Van D, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van D.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Van Deeb Podcast. Man, I'm glad you're here with me today. Remember, before we go any farther, to please subscribe to this podcast. That way, you get it in your inbox twice a month. So subscribe. And then also think about when you're listening and watching this podcast, who you can share this with. I'd love it if you shared this with somebody that could use what we're talking about today to help enrich their life. So today I want to talk to you about stepping outside of your comfort zone. I know you hear that a lot from people saying, that you need to step outside of your comfort zone if you want to grow. Well, who's ever telling you that is exactly right. We grow when we learn new things about us. We grow when we try something new. And if you think about it, our time on this earth is limited. And man, as you get older, you really notice it. Time just seems like the clock is moving like this. And it just happens when you get older. It seems like time's going really, really fast. My dog is going to be 8 years old in February. And it seems it was just like last year I was saying he was going to be 2. So I'm really seeing time go fast. So the way I look at things is we should want to become better every day. I know people that are happy where they're at, which is fine. They don't want to get any better. They don't want to grow. They just are happy where they're at. They want to live their whole life the exact same person. Is there anything wrong with that? No, not at all. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you're taking the time to watch podcasts like mine to help you get better, that program won't work for you. Being average won't work for you. You're obviously taking the time to tune into this because you want to grow and you want to get better. So stepping outside of your comfort zone will help you grow. It will get you where you want to go, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself. I've had a storied career. A lot of you had followed me for years. This is my 44th year in real estate, and not just in real estate. I've excelled at it. Why? Because I wanted to. So that's not my comfort zone. When I first got into real estate, it wasn't in my comfort zone to try to learn something new. I just wanted a job. I just wanted to get started in life. But then every day I realized the more I try new things that are going to help me improve and help me get better at my career, the better person that's going to make me. And here's one of the cool things about stepping outside of your comfort zone is people will notice. People will see a change in you, and what's going to happen is you all of a sudden, without even knowing it, become an inspiration. You are now inspiring others to follow your lead. That, my friends, is the definition of a leader. You don't have to be a CEO, a manager, or own a company to be a leader. Somebody that is admired and that other people want to emulate, that's a leader too. So I did things that aren't natural. I try, like cold calling. Who likes to get on the phone and call people that they don't know? Nobody. But it's something that's very important in becoming successful. Charitable work. I'm going to go from one end to the other. If you want to be involved in charities, and I always recommend entrepreneurs get involved in some form of a charity because you want your name to be synonymous with raising money for this or believing in a cause. Entrepreneurs should all be involved in some sort of a fundraising or charity or foundation or a nonprofit. Well, mine was I sat on top of a roof and I wouldn't come down till I raised $5,000 for Children's Hospital. that was my uncomfort because one is I hate heights. And so I did something that I didn't like to do. But I wanted to think of something that I could do to raise money for a cause I believed in, which was Children's Hospital. And I used it to work with my business, real estate, sitting on top of a roof, raising money. That's stepping out of my comfort zone. So we all can sit and think of ways, and of course you know what I always preach, to get a pad and a pen or pencil and write down what you plan on trying, to do to step out of your comfort zone. So I highly recommend getting a pad and pen. And I tell you that because not getting on your laptop, not putting it on your phone, there's something about when you write it down. There's something about when you write it down, you absorb it better and you see it in print. So maybe today after you watch this podcast, you write down ways I can step out of my comfort zone to better myself and start writing things down. You'll be surprised at the things that you'll come up with. Maybe it's things that if you incorporated in your life, it's going to make your life easier, your personal life and your business life. Now, entrepreneurs, I think they go together. A lot of people say, well, this is my work life and this is my business life. A lot of industries and careers can get by with that. Entrepreneurs, man, we're eating, sleeping, and drinking our careers are about 24/7. Entrepreneurs don't work 8 to 5. Our minds are going nonstop. So there's plenty of ways that you can think of that you can step out of your comfort zone. In my books, I talk about all the books I write, and I brought 3 of them with me today. You can get all these books at vandeeb.com. It's a 2-day delivery. But I come up with ideas that you may be able to relate to help you live a better life and to encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. I talk about it all the time. And then another thing is, a lot of people that watch and listen to my podcast are in real estate because this is what I've been doing for over 4 decades. I have a masterclass that has 33 modules that I guarantee you will change your life for the better and you'll become the person that you've always wanted to be in business. And that's realestatemasters.online. Check it out. And I don't care what industry you're in. Maybe it's not real estate or mortgage or whatever, or some sort of a sales career. Anybody in business will benefit from this course. Probably the best $99 you've ever spent. realestatemasters.online. It's 33 modules that you'll be able to use whenever you want to. So think of ways that you can step out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to give you an example. So when I first moved to Dallas, Texas, I was in my young 20s, just starting out, didn't know anybody. I had $500 in my pocket and I had a beat up car. Well, I drove from Omaha, Nebraska, where we do our podcast at in Omaha, Nebraska, and drove to Texas. Car broke down. My first day I was there, found a repair shop the next morning. They said they'd have my car back the same day, couple $100, which is eating into my $500 that I brought. And I saw a guy paying for gas, and I looked out, and there was a truck over by the gas pumps with a trailer full of sod and about 12 people in back of the pickup truck. Well, this guy has a landscaping company. So it wasn't my comfort zone to go talk to a stranger, but I needed money. I didn't have a choice, so I went up to him and I said, "Is that your landscaping business out there?" And he goes, "Yes, it is." And I go, "Are you hiring?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "How much an hour?" And I think he said something like $5 an hour cash. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. And so I ended up getting a job with him. And he said, get in the truck. So I actually started going to sit in the front seat he told me to get in the back. He was all alone in the front seat. So I'm in the back of a pickup with 12 other people that don't speak English, and I don't speak another language. So talk about stepping out of your comfort zone. But we do things that we have to do in order to advance ourselves. So keep that into consideration. You know, whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life, if it requires you to change your game, to be a little different, to step outside of your comfort zone, then do it. You know, what do you have to lose by not accommodating what you know you need to do to get to where you want to be? And that also includes elimination. That includes you need to find areas of your life that you need to eliminate. Maybe you're too comfortable with this part of your life that's holding you back from being where you want to be and to grow to where you want to grow to. So let's talk about that for a minute. In your personal life, ask yourself, is there anything that you can do to change that's going to help you move the needle forward in your business and in your personal life? Is there anything at all that you think you need to do? Once again, pad and paper, write it down, read it over and over again. Maybe you can go to bed a little earlier. Maybe you can get up a little earlier. Maybe you can start a regiment working out in the morning. I don't know what kind of person I would be if I did not work out every morning. I'm at the gym at 5:30 every morning. Is that in my comfort zone? No. I mean, who wants to get up at 4:30 every day and go to the gym? But I know if I step out of my comfort zone, it's going to make me a better person. And I can tell the days that I don't go to the gym because I'm lethargic and I don't have as much energy. So we all have ways. Maybe you drink a little too much. I know a lot of people that their careers never left the ground because their personal lives are holding them back. Don't be halfway through your life or more than halfway through your life and have regrets on things that you could have changed. There's a lot of things in our lives that we have no control over, and we just have to go with the punches, and we have to adjust and accept the challenges. But there's a lot of things that we can change. And if you know that there's certain things in your life that you need to change in order to live the life that you want to live, then why don't you? And once again, that may be stepping out of your comfort zone. You know, my mother used to say to me, and it's so right, and I can hear her saying it today, you are your own worst enemy. And so I think about that statement. I think about, all the good things that have happened to me are because I made a choice to make them happen. All the negative things that have happened, which we all have, I made that choice too. So we are the ones that are in control. A lot of times when things aren't going your way, you had a lot to do with it. It's like I tell real estate agents, if the deal goes bad and it becomes a very challenging transaction when you're selling a home, a lot of times it's the agent's fault, and they admit it. They could have done something different to make it go smoother. So we have to hold ourselves accountable. That's just the way it is. We have to be the ones that say, I don't like the way things are going. I'm going to make some changes. That's not who I am. I'm not comfortable being this person that I know I should be. But I know if I make those changes and step out of my comfort zone, I'm going to get to where I want to go, and I'm going to get there a lot faster. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have the ability to become anything we want to become. And I tell you what, I've never seen more people in business today that are less than average. It's amazing how people today that I run into, and I don't mean to generalize that, but a lot of people just don't care. You can tell with their jobs, you can tell when, with what they're doing in life. So my point is not to diss on those people because that's a choice they made. But this gives you an opportunity to shine, to be the best at what you do, because so many people in your industry aren't. You have an opportunity to step out of the person that you have been and to say, I'm going to make a decision. I want to be the best I can possibly be. And I want to step out of my comfort zone. I'm telling my producer over here that, yeah, I just saw him. So I tell my producers not to edit me because I'm just a real authentic person. And I'm on this podcast for one reason. That's to make you better. I've been there and done that. I've enjoyed an incredible business career, but my goal where I'm at on this earth today is to help other people get to where they want to go. So once again, there's somebody out there that really could use just a little bit of motivation, inspiration. And if you would share this with them, you know, at the very least, you are going to empower them to be better. And also make sure to subscribe to this podcast so you get it in your inbox every couple weeks. And also, if you want to check this masterclass out, it applies to every industry, not just real estate. realestateMasterclass.online. You'll love it. And I want to tell you how grateful I am that you spend a little bit of time of your day with me. Let's all get better. I know we can do it. Thank you for tuning into the Van Deeb Podcast.